What is up, everybody? Coming live. Last minute updates, Fantasy Football Sunday. I'll tell you what, went live a little earlier, and so much has changed already. I mean, already, it is unbelievable how many things change across the board. It really is. Hey, what's up, Anna? How are you? What's your fantasy football team looking like today? I'm sure it is looking fantastic. There's so many things. Listen, Chiefs play. Chiefs Monday night game. We get another Monday night game. We're getting another Monday night game. Can it be any better than that? Right? I hate to say it, but this is probably the first time I'm actually happy about COVID, right? Because it's given us another Monday night game, which I think is fantastic, and one that is 100% worth watching, right? 100%. I'm curious if it's Devontae Adams, if he's going to play. You know, here's the thing. It's so hard with these last minute injuries. It really is. We have to try to figure it out. Is Devontae going to play? Right now, it looks like he is going to play, right? But we really have to be careful, right? We really have to be careful because you just when you're talking about hamstrings, it's so hard. Even if they play, it's so hard, right? He's still questionable. As of yesterday, if he play, listen, my gut says that he's going to play, right? My gut says that he's going to play, only because, listen, when you look at it, they have no Alan Lazard, right? They lost him, which was a shock to a lot of people because he was one of the biggest pickups of the week. If he was actually out there, because he was a guy that you knew was developing that rapport with Aaron Rodgers. So just a big blow to a lot of fantasy football owners. So I mean, it's hard with the Monday night game. It is. It's hard the Monday night game because we just don't know. We just don't know. What's up, brother Dan? I need to feel better about tonight, but I can't go Birds. Andrew, I hear you. I hear you, man. It is hard. It is hard. It's hot out here. If everybody ever watched that, Hustle and Flow kind of rhythm, man, that's where it brings it. But Anna, listen. Right now, he's questionable, right? My gut tells me he's going to play. The only good part is, the bad part is a Monday night game, but now there's just two Monday night games, right? So if you do wait for tomorrow, if he is in your lineup, just make sure you have somebody that you can plug in, right? Listen, I'm going to chance it. Well, I was just going to say, if you don't have anybody that's good to plug in, then screw it, right? You go. You listen. You probably drafted Devontae Adams high in the first or second round, so you know what? Screw it. Leave him in there. Listen, it's 2020, right? It's a pandemic year. Who the hell knows what's going to happen on any given week? So you know what, Anna? Leave him in there, and you know what? I hope he scores for you, and let me know how you make out with that. Because I'll tell you what, if he is in there, probably against that Atlanta defense. Listen, I'm no Devontae Adams, right? Obviously, but I bet you I could probably catch 10 balls against that Atlanta offense. So yeah, leave him in there. What the hell? Let it roll, Anna. Let it roll. That's the name of the game. Risk versus reward. Risk versus reward. But I'm hyped up. Oh, look. See, Anna, she this is another. I keep getting these 49er fans, man. I got Jenna and Anna coming at me with the heat right now, bringing the heat about the Birds, right? We're doing a little last minute fantasy football talk, and Anna's hitting me with the heat right now. I want to see the Niners smoke the Birds. Anna, what do you got for a score? Give me a score, because we'll mix this up. Look, Nick Mullins going to throw 3 TDs. Look at that. Nick Mullins going to throw 3 TDs. You know what? And I wouldn't doubt it. Anna, I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it at all. 100%. And she's hit me with the score, 31-17. Wow. Listen, 31-17. I'll tell you what, Anna, I hate to say it, and I'll probably get killed for this, but I'm kind of on your side. I am, because until the Eagles can prove to me that they could do something here, it's really, really hard. It's now Jenna's talking. I mean, now Anna's talking. Wentz gets pulled in the 4th. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Now, what's up, Dan? Dan, that game is over before it starts. I know. Listen, Dan is a closet Niners junkie, man. He is a huge Niners fan. I already know that. My man Dan from back in the day, and I know he's rooting for the Niners. See, Niner Nation, there it is. I already knew that. But Anna, listen, if he gets pulled, Anna, you tell me this. If he gets pulled in the 4th and Jalen Hurts comes in, what happens? We still lose? Are you saying we're already going to be down that much? because it could happen. It could happen. I know for a fantasy perspective that I'm starting Greg Ward all day long because I think Greg Ward is going to go off today from a fantasy perspective because there ain't nobody else to be able to catch a ball out there for the Philadelphia Eagles, right? We already know that. But I want to hear some, listen, you guys checking in. I want to hear some DFS lineups. I want to hear what you guys are looking at, who you guys starting, because Jalen comes in and runs in for touchdown, but Birds still lose. Listen, Adam, we're going to have to hook up during this game tonight, okay? Because I want to see. I'm going to screenshot this, and I want to see, Anna, 31-17, right? Niners smoke the Birds. Carson gets pulled in the fourth quarter. Jalen Hurts comes in and runs for the touchdown, but Birds still lose. I could definitely see it, but I'll tell you what, Anna, if Jalen comes in, Carson's not getting his job back. I can tell you that right now. It's not going to happen. My boy Phil Stifle checking in. Phil, I just seen you and Scotty on Facebook for the Heat Ratio, man. I greatly appreciate it. Good stuff. I was at a soccer game, so I couldn't catch the whole video. I caught the tail 5 minutes, which was great. Tremendous work, as always, you two guys. Greg Ward, 20 catches for 47 yards and 0.5 touchdowns. That's Phil says. Anna checking in. Greg Ward, 6 for 101. I'm going to go with Anna. Phil, I'm going to go with Anna. I like 6 catches for 101. I think that's what Greg Ward does today. Fitzmagic, Parker, Lockett, main stack of the day. You know what, Phil? It's interesting. I love that, man. You're going the complete opposite. I'm going Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf is my two stat. Listen, I can't go Chris Carson, right? I can't go Chris Carson. He's quite, he's coming back. We don't know. I like Dak for quarterback today, and I like Dak too against Cleveland. I also like Odell Beckham Jr. I think Odell goes off today. I do. I think this is the day that he breaks out. I think him and Kenyon Drake are the two breakout contenders for the day. I'll tell you what, I'm going. This is my lineup. I have 2 DraftKings lineups, right? One I messed around with. I always do a mess around lineup, right? I throw some really odd players out there. Dan's second at 28-10 Niners. Yeah, we'll see, Dan. We'll see. We'll definitely see. At least we have something to do tonight on a Sunday night, which is fantastic. I love the Sunday night game. I really do. Lost Can, need to replace him. Look at this. Lost Can, need to replace him with one of Baker, Carr, Foles, Herbert. Wow. Teddy, Kirk. Jeez, what do you think? Wow. That's a lot of wow. That's a tough one. I really like Baker. Against that Dallas team, but Baker just has not been consistent. I have no faith in Kirk Cousins. I'll tell you what, I think I gotta go Foles. I do. I think this week I have to go Foles. I think Foles is good. Listen, he came in 188-3. Okay, last week. He's going to give you 200, 250, 2 or 3. And I'll tell you what, if you can he's going to every bit get you 20 points this week from the position. So out of those guys right there, Jason, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to go with Nick Foles. Anna, I'm a Celtics fan and breaks my heart it should break your heart, Anna, because Doc is the man. Right? Doc is the man. Thank God the Philadelphia 76ers have a coach, right? Thank God. 100%. Wow, Dan likes Derek Carr. You know what, Dan? I don't know if I'm in on Derek Carr, man. I don't know. I don't think listen, Derek Carr, listen, he's good, okay? And he's had his ups and downs, but who's he going to throw to out there? Right? That's my biggest thing with Derek Carr this week. Who's he throwing to? Right? I mean, he really all his wide receivers are injured, right? All his wide receivers are injured. Indianapolis doesn't have the greatest defense in the world right now. Okay, they're playing okay, not great. I can't touch Justin Herbert against Tampa Bay. Baker has not been consistent enough. So I'm telling you right now, I'm going with Nick Foles. I like that. I am going with Nick Foles. Drew Brees or Joe Burrow. Varsy's checking in. This has been the topic of the day, right? This has been a topic of the day because this was asked me on Thursday. I am telling you right now, I will start in Joe Burrow over Drew Brees. I am starting Joe Burrow over Drew Brees. I think Joe Burrow, I know Michael Thomas is active today. Don't know how much he's going to do, but still, I think Joe Burrow, with all the options that he has right now, I think it's starting to click out there in Cincinnati, and they are going to be a really, really good team fantasy-wise, not NFL-wise, fantasy-wise going forward. So I would start Joe Burrow 100%. Remember, Joe Burrow, varsity of 42. Joe Burrow, ninth ranked quarterback in fantasy football this year already after 3 weeks. Ninth ranked quarterback. Remember that. Only thrown one pick so far this week. Michael Thomas is out now. So Michael Thomas, they said, was active. And now all of a sudden, they say he was going to be active today, but they weren't sure how much he was going to play. I didn't think he was going to get on the field. I thought that was kind of like a ploy, one of those Sean Payton ploys. But I guess they finally decided to put him out. Maybe they figured, you know what? Or maybe he came out pregame warmups and just figured out he couldn't go. Kittle, wow. 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. You think that knee and that ankle's okay? I don't know. I don't like none of those choices, and I hear you. Listen, those quarterback choices are tough, right? But when you lose a guy like Cam Newton, you got to scramble. And most leagues with those 2 quarterbacks already on each team, there's not many things, not many options left. Not many options left. Gary is horrible today. Nathan Gary is horrible every day, Anna. He's terrible. He stinks. He's one of the biggest stiffs on the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Phil checking in. Stafford, Galladay, stock is a tree. That's another one. I looked at that, Phil. I looked at that. I did. I had a little fun today. When I look at it, I did. I had a little fun. I'm starting, I have a wide receiver combo of Tyler Boyd, Preston Williams, Keelan Cole, and my flex of T.Y. Hilton. How's that grab you? That's my fun lineup, because every day I do a fun lineup, right? I do the real lineup that I do with the Experts League with people from ESPN and RotoWire, RotoWorld, CBS Sports Line. There's tons of dudes in the mix, but this is a fun one that I do. I like to do something a little different. But my real one is Russell Wilson, Dalvin Cook, Kenyon Drake, Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr., T. Higgins. Remember that name this week, T. Higgins, okay? I'm telling you now, T. Higgins going to have a big day today. He's going to have a big day today. I'm telling you that right now. T. Higgins is going to be on point for the Cincinnati Bengals today. I predict big things from T. Higgins this week. I think Mike Davis going to have another good week. Chris Carson is active. So all the people I know earlier, a man named Justin asked me about do we start Travis Homer? And I was back and forth, and I said maybe, depending on what the status is of Chris Carson, but looks like Chris Carson is active. Again, when these guys come back off of injury, you have to be very careful. These guys come back off of injury, and you just don't know how much they're going to play. So if you have a really good option instead of that guy, by all means, I would start them instead. I'm being honest. But if you don't have the option and you have to stick it out with one of those guys, you just have to stick it out. Just be prepared, just in case for re-injury, just in case they don't play or they log the amount of minutes that they normally log. This is all the things that come into perspective when we talk about fantasy football. But this is Sunday. This is game day, right? This is game day. Again, for everybody checking in, Anna, I think I called you Jenna 13 times today, and I apologize because I have another follower in Jenna usually checking in. She's a Niners fan as well, so it's interesting. Maybe you even know Jenna. Who knows? But no, seriously, if you can, go give us a follow at TCatillo23. That's my own personal account, and follow at Heat Ratio Sports on all social platforms, and subscribe to the YouTube page today, and check the podcast out. We do a fantasy football podcast every single week. We do a local national podcast every single week. We go live on all social platforms. Listen, we are up to 150 something episodes. We'd love to get your input. Give us a rating, give us a review. We'd really appreciate it. But back to the games. Let's look real fast at these 1:00 games, right? Let's look real fast at these 1:00 games and see exactly who is looking at what. What are we looking at when we talk about the matchups coming forward, right? I love this because we can concentrate now, Okay, we get concentrated because we don't have the game till tonight. I still listen. Baltimore Washington is one of the most intriguing matchups. I know for all you people out there. I'm telling you, I get it. I know that they're up 14, but I am going with Washington this game. I think Washington wins this game. I do. I think Washington wins this game. I have a feeling this is going to be an ultimate letdown for Baltimore, coming off a bad loss to the Chiefs. Listen, it's just my opinion. I think it's going to happen today. I do. Just be prepared if it does happen. I'm telling you guys now. Also, checking in. Let's talk about the Chargers, right? Let's talk about the Chargers and the Buccaneers. Is Justin Herbert going to show Tom Brady this kid's for real? Is it going to be Austin Eckler again, or are they going to go back to Joshua Kelly? Tampa Bay. Could this be a Gronk game? I want to ask that. Could this be a Gronk game? Because I think it could. I think this could be the day Rob Gronkowski shows that he's still got a little bit left. I think this is a Gronk game. I do. I think Brady will be good. He'll be solid as always. The Seattle-Miami game is interesting. A lot of people are thinking that for some reason, somehow, the Seattle Seahawks lose their first game. I'm sorry. No way. Never falling for it. Fitzmagic, love you, bro. Love the beard. Love the style. Can't do it. Russ is the man. MVP year. DJ, listen. Again, this is another guy we have to watch. DJ Metcalf, a guy that should be on this team. Instead of DJ Metcalf, okay, our DK Metcalf, instead of DK, we have a guy whose mom's holding the umbrella over top of him at training camp who can't even catch a freaking ball, okay? So that's my Eagles take for today. Then we had the two 0-3 teams, Minnesota and Houston. Listen, what is this going to be? What is this going to be? We have no idea. David Johnson, he ends up with a milk carton again. Brandon Cooks, where are you? William Fuller can't catch passes. Kenny Stills, not in the fray. Looks like Deshaun Watson is lost without DeAndre Hopkins. Bill O'Brien should have been fired. Maybe we'll be fired after this year. Minnesota, I cannot trust Kirk Cousins. I love me some Dalvin Cook. Justin Jefferson, will he go off again? Who knows? Kyle Rudolph, where have you been? What have you done for me lately? And Adam Thielen is showing that he's eventually going to be okay without the services of Stephon Diggs, right? So, Bills trap game. Harmon checking in. Bills trap game. A lot of people have been talking about that because it's an away game, right? They go to Vegas. There's no fans. I get it. And last week they got tested. Here's the thing, what I would say. It could be a trap game because Gruden is – listen, here's the funny thing. Gruden against McDermott. A lot of people aren't talking about this. Both of these guys, are Andy Reid guys. Remember that. Both of these guys have come off the Andy Reid tree. Remember that. So they both had the same mindset. Now, it looks like a trap game from the outskirts, but what I will tell you is Vegas is really hurting. Right? They're really hurting on the offensive end. Their receivers are really banged up between Ruggs, Bryan Edwards. These guys are really banged up. So, Josh Jacobs, I expect big things from a fantasy perspective today. I think Josh Jacobs will have a really good day. But listen, when you're talking about Tre'Davious White going up against the third receiver on Vegas, right? The biggest threat that they have is that Darren Waller, who obviously, listen, he is a threat, but I think these guys like Jerry Hughes, I think they get home often against Derek Carr, and I have no problems going with Buffalo here to go 4-0. I really don't. I don't think they fall into this trap whatsoever. I really don't. I think this is 100% a Bills win. I think Bills and Seahawks come out today both 4-0. I really do. I think that they both have shown the ability to lead. I do. I'll tell you what, speaking about trap game, this New Orleans and Detroit game, don't sleep on it. I don't, because there's no reason to believe that New Orleans is going to go in and roll, right? There's no reason to believe that they're just going to go in and roll. There's Jenna. Jenna just checked in with me on Twitter. She says Eagles 20, Niners 24. Kittle has a big day. So Jenna was checking in. So you hear that, Anna? Anna, if you hear that, okay, Jenna, that is the other Jenna checking in, saying that they will win this game too. So a lot of Niner Nation here on the Fantasy Firebox today. A lot of heat brought to you by the Niners fans. That's okay, because we like it all. It's great. This is, what's great about today? This is what's great about today is we get to sit back and we just get to relax and watch all the games play out until tonight. That is the best time. Well, yeah, Edgar checking in. Well, I guess that's that's to the Niners comments. I'm guessing there is a lot of Niners love in this spread in this stream today, 100%. But listen, going on again, like I said, New Orleans, very interesting. New Orleans is very, very interesting because give me 1 second. Yeah, listen, New Orleans, they Drew Brees, like I told you, one thing about Drew Brees is he's definitely regressed a little bit, and you can't beat out Father Time, right? Can't beat out Father Time. Flex Robinson. Oh, listen, Allen Robinson all day, all day, all day long. Listen, Allen Robinson all day. McLaren, I like Terry, I do, but with that defense in Baltimore, even though I'm picking Washington to win that game, McLaren's going to have a tough time. And Tate, I'm not sure, man. Tate's going to give me more. Daniel Jones and that offense looks pretty lost right now. They do. They look pretty lost right now. So right now, it's James Robinson. Listen, 100%. Even James Robinson, Edgar, 100%. You know why? Because right now they're facing the Cincinnati Bengals, and I covered this earlier. The Cincinnati Bengals have given up 500 plus yards on the ground in 3 games, right? 500 plus yards. And Jacksonville is going to run the ball a lot. They're going to run the ball a lot. Even though the Eagles lost, tied, whatever you want to call it, but they still rushed for over 150 yards in that game combined. So I have no doubt that James Robinson's going to run all over. I'd start James Robinson as your flex. 100. You got it, buddy. Let me know how you make out. Why can't we tell the Niners Kittle ain't beating us and double him, right? The running backs and wide receivers just as bad. Well, you know what? Here's the problem. We can't double Kittle because we don't even have the guys that double Kittle. That's the problem. I agree. I mean, one thing you have to do is you have to take out their best player. I mean, Bill Belichick is a master at doing that, right? So yeah, if that's possible, the problem is I don't think we don't have the ability to do that. Self-checking, and this is a good one. Here's a good one for everybody. Flex, Galladay or Darrell Henderson? Darrell Henderson has really, really played well. He has. Darrell Henderson, I did not expect him. I mean, he's actually this week against the Giants, I think he's going to go off. I do. I mean, he's like my 7th ranked running back when we talk about fantasy this week. He is my 7th ranked running back. I love me some Kenny Galladay at New Orleans, but, Marcus Lattimore out there, I don't know. I don't know. It's really hard. And he's coming back from the hamstring injury. The hamstring injuries for me are so tough because you just don't know when they're going to tweak it again. And you hate to see your player go out there and then all of a sudden you find out he's not returning because he tweaked the hamstring or he's at 100%. So in my opinion, if you have that caliber of guy in Henderson, I would start Darrell Henderson today. I think Darrell Henderson should be starting as your flex. I do. I like that move. I think he's going to give you a tremendous value. I do. I think, Darrell Henderson, listen, against the Giants defense is struggling, man. They're struggling. And Darrell Henderson, 5.7 yards per carry, and he's getting the catches out of the backfield. So, and he's scoring the touchdowns. I think that McVay is falling in love with Darrell Henderson, and I think we should too if we're fantasy football owners. Absolutely. Good luck with that. For real, let us know. Should stash or trash Brandon Cooks? You know what? I am so done with Brandon Cooks, right? I am so done. I was killing Brandon Cooks, and I was getting killed for killing Brandon Cooks, right? Everybody kept telling me you're nuts. What has Brandon Cooks done? What has he done since the days of his first or second year in New Orleans? Nothing. He's quietly caught 90 balls, but he's done nothing with them, right? So right now, that team is in trouble. All I could say is I would trash Brandon Cooks if there's a very viable option out there. If there's not, just stash him just in case. It's a short season, though, right? Short season. We're already week 4, right? There's only 8 more weeks until the playoffs. So think about that perspective. Anna's still here. Eagles aren't winning this game. She's trolling us right now. They couldn't cover the Rams tight end. That's right. Tyler Higbee, 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. They couldn't cover the tight end, right? They couldn't. Listen, Anna is at work today till 3 o'clock, so she can't be checking in. But Anna will get at us tonight if we stream for the game, which should be fun. But she checked with me on Twitter, so that's what's up. Anna, you stay safe out there. Thielen or DK Metcalf? Asking for my 11-year-old son who needs some advice. What do you mean he don't listen to dad? He don't listen to dad? That's funny. Thielen or I got to go DK, man. I got to go DK because they're playing Miami, and there's nobody I feel that can hang with him on that Miami team. Russell Wilson, that team is playing so. I mean, you could legitimately see both of these guys. They're going to go over 1,000 yards this year. Him and Tyler Lockett, 100%. Thielen is going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be consistent week to week. And I don't know what's going to go on that battle 0-3s out there. So I don't trust Adam Thielen today. I put all my trust in DK Metcalf. I think he scores and he scores big. Harmon checking in. Chark, Thielen, or Ward? Wow, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, man. When you play fantasy football, you guys know something. It's all about risk or reward, right? It's all about risk or reward. I'm telling you right now, I think Greg Ward is going to have a huge fantasy play day today. I do. I've been hyping up Greg Ward all week. Okay, I really think Greg Ward is going to be a guy. He's going to give a lot of different looks. I think Greg Ward scores a rushing or a throwing touchdown today. Mark my words. He is going to throw the ball or he's going to run the ball for a touchdown today on top of catching 6 to 8 balls for 100 yards and another score. So I think Greg Ward is the play today, 100%. Okay, well, can I trust Chris Carson today? 50-50, man. Honestly, 50-50. I mean, Chris Carson up till today was not going to play. He has practices, but that hyperextended knee kind of injury, man, you have to be very, very careful with that. So listen, they don't have the next guy. If Carlos Hyde is not playing, which he's not, and they're going all in on Chris Carson, and they just have Travis Homer out there. I mean, the only thing I could say is they could get up big. And if they get up big, then they're just going to sit Carson for the rest of the game. So it all depends on who you have. Listen, sometimes that's all you have. If all you have is Chris Carson, oh no, listen. If you just followed it up, yes, I would start James Robinson over Chris Carson 100%. I wouldn't even look back, man. Wouldn't even look back. I don't even have to tell you why, right? Because what I mean is, I don't mean that sounding cocky, but I'm just saying I don't even have to look up why, because I can tell you right now, like I said, Cincinnati is very susceptible to the run game. I think Jacksonville is going to run all over them. It's going to be a high-scoring game between both of those teams. And Chris Carson coming right off from injury, just not sure how much he's going to give you at all. I'm really not. We go 5 more minutes here. Thanks. One last one, Dak, or should I stay with the Josh Allen fire? That's interesting. This week, Edgar, I don't think you could go wrong with either of those guys. I don't. I think Dak's going to throw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns today. Okay? So you take that as you may. I think this will be the first Josh Allen game where he doesn't hit 300 yards. How's that? I think today, I still think Buffalo wins, but I think Josh Allen throws something for like maybe 250, 260. I think he gets a rushing touchdown and he throws 1 or 2. I think this will be the first day where they really test Josh Allen right from the first quarter, not wait until the last quarter like the Rams did, in week 3. So I think I would start Dak this week. I do. I would. I think Dak is the play this week against Cleveland. So looking at the rest of the games right now, I mean, on tap, listen, you look at Arizona, Carolina. I mean, Arizona to get back on track, is this going to be back to the Kyler Murray show? I think Kenyon Drake finally breaks out. Like I said before, Carolina is very susceptible to run. They have allowed the highest amount of rushing touchdowns in the NFL when it comes to running backs at 7. So I think this is the perfect day for a guy like Kenyon Drake to get back on track. The New York Giants and LA Rams, we kind of touched on it. The Giants are in disarray. They go to LA and play the Rams. The Rams are starting to click on offense. I think this is another 0-4 star for the Giants. I have no faith in Danny Dimes right now until they figure that offensive playbook out with Jason Garrett. Indianapolis and Chicago. I think Chicago, again, I love Nick Foles this week. I do. Indianapolis goes to travel to Soldier Field. Nick Foles, you've seen he really got a grip on the offense right away. I think the guys kind of bought into him. Anthony Miller looked better. Allen Robinson looked better. We were talking about, is Allen Robinson going to break out? He broke out, but he broke out with the other quarterback. This is Nick Foles' team right now. So I really am heavily invested in Nick Foles in this game. And then we look at, listen, it's a huge 1 o'clock slate, right? A lot of games at 1 o'clock, only 3-4 o'clock games. And then we had the Philadelphia Eagles and San Francisco 49ers tonight. We touched on that a lot. We've had a lot of check-ins. I know Anna is huge on the Niners. I know Dan's huge on the Niners. I know Jenna just, she texted me from work saying she's at work and she couldn't check in, which is fantastic. I love that she's able to check in. So listen, last thing. It's going to be really good or really bad tonight when we talk about the Birds. Really good or really bad. But fantasy wise, listen, what I have to say is just keep an eye out on what happens throughout the game. Always remember this in fantasy football. It's a week-to-week match, right? It's a week-to-week match. So even if you don't do well this week, even if your guys don't do well this week, keep an eye on everything else so you can fix it for the following week. Don't just give up. Don't just stay stagnant. Always make moves. That's one thing I can tell you. Always make moves. Without any moves, right? Without any moves made, you can't win. So that's the last thing I'm going to tell you. Make the moves. Don't be afraid to make the moves. Go with your gut. Sometimes you got to go with your gut. You can take every analytical stat in the world. Trust me, I do. I break it down. Percentages, pass run ratios, defense, offense. We take everything in perspective when we look at fantasy football. But sometimes you got to go with your gut, right? Sometimes you got to go with your gut. Can you go off on Mixon for a few seconds? Listen, it's funny, Harmon. I swear to God, Harmon 227 checking out. Can you go off on Joe Mixon for a few seconds? One thing I could say about Joe Mixon, he was definitely in my cold zone. When we did the Fantasy Firebox podcast on Thursday, we put guys in the cold zone and guys in the oven. Guys who were on fire and guys who were so ice cold and have just completely lacked on their abilities when it comes to fantasy football and lacked on what we thought would have been in the preseason projections. Joe Mixon has looked like complete garbage. He got, listen, I sure hope, Joe, listen, he got paid, right? Joe got paid. I hope Joe didn't get paid and get lazy. That's all I got to say. Because right now, Joe Mixon is very talented. Still not a big fan of Joe Mixon. I'm not a fan of anybody that lays their hands on a woman. Okay, it is what it is. You can call me what you want, but personally, I do not like Joe Mixon one bit. As a fantasy player, I liked him coming into this year. I'm telling you right now, I would never draft Joe Mixon because I can't get past the personal aspect. But what I can say is you're absolutely right. Underachieving is putting it mildly. Okay, when you look, listen, Joe Mixon. I'm going to give you this right now. When you look at Joe Mixon, ready? I'm going to get it for you. All right. And we're going to put it exactly in perspective right here. This is how bad Joe Mixon has been so far. When you look at every statistical stat in fantasy football and you put all the guys in a line, guess where Joe Mixon ranks? Joe Mixon has not missed a game. Joe Mixon has played all 3 games. And you know where he ranks? 38th. 38th. I'm going to tell you some of the names ahead of Joe Mixon. Adrian Peterson, Myles Gaskin, Rex Burkhardt, Raheem Mostert, Todd Gurley, Malcolm Brown, Joshua Kelly, Antonio Gibson, Naheem One-Touch Hines, Sony Michel, Devin Singletary. He should not be 38th. And that is a testament to how bad he has played this year. So for all you Joe Mixon owners, I break the fantasy season up into 4 quarters, okay? Because most leagues, if they're smart, start the playoffs in week 14. So I take 3/4, okay? Every third week I break down and I take it in perspective. And I take it in every 3 weeks, right? So we're 3 weeks into the season right now, and Joe Mixon is the 38th ranked fantasy running back. That is unacceptable. Joe Mixon right now is not playing. He is not playing. He's averaging 3.2 yards per carry and only has 7 catches on the year. I'll tell you, man, Giovanni Bernard looks like he has that extra step. And I'm going to say something right now. I know they paid Joe Mixon. I know. But I can tell you this, that if he's not going to produce, they have no reason not to put Giovanni Bernard in there, especially when they have a rookie quarterback who they want to protect. So that is my spiel on Joe Mixon, because he is not deserving of what he got right now. He needs to step his game up. And I think everybody knows it. I think and I think Joe knows it too. Okay. But at the end of the day, if he's not going to produce, Giovanni Bernard's going to get some touches. He really is. Let's check it in. Chenault or MVS? That's an interesting. Here's the hardest part about that. I hate the Monday night game. I do. I hate the Monday night game because now you have to take that and you have to wait. Now, we already know Lazard's not playing, right? So that's one good thing. We know Lazard's not playing. We know Devontae Adams is still questionable. Is he going to play? We're not sure. If I had my guess, he's going to play. Okay, he did practice on Friday, which is usually a telling sign. When they practice on Friday, usually it's a telling sign. Now, when you talk about Chenault, I mean, you're obviously basing that on the matchup, right? Against Cincinnati. He's still the number 3 guy. He's still behind Shark. He's still behind Keelan Cole. Okay, I think James Robinson's going to run the ball a lot. They're going to protect Gardner Minshew out there. I would go with MVS. I would. I think MVS, no matter what, is a really good pick, especially if Devontae Adams plays or doesn't play. I don't think it matters. I think actually MVS could actually be more valuable if Devontae Adams plays, because he's going to get that. He's going to get those targets. He is. So yeah, got my man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. At Heat Ratio Sports everywhere, man, and at TKTOL23. Get that follow going, man. I appreciate it as always. Checking in and let me know how you make it. I tell everybody, listen. I'm not 100%, right? We all make mistakes. I'm going to give you my honest gut feeling. Again, I look at a lot of different things. I bring a lot of different unique style to the perspective. I try to give you my gut feeling. Okay. And I know that's not always 100% valid, but that's the way I play, man. That's the way I play. I go with the stats and I go with my gut. I think it's the only way to be. And again, I appreciate all the support from everybody out there. And I want you to let me know how you make out through the course of the day. Tell me, man, we got this wrong. Or, you hit me up. I had people all week, but texting me, giving me their, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Let me, I hit the DraftKings lineup this week. Thanks for that pick. Or, man, we missed it. And I get back at you too. Follow me on Twitter so we can have a conversation, because I always hit you up my bad. Like somebody asked me last week, actually it was my boy E-Bomb, my boy Chris from Fox Sports The Gambler and Rise of Fire podcast, and he was asking me about Andy Isabella. And, Andy Isabella, is he going to be the guy to take over, that because Christian Kirk didn't play? And I said no. I thought it was going to be Larry Fitzgerald and Chase Edmonds, and what does he do? He catches 2 touchdowns. So, hey, we're all wrong sometimes, man. We can't be perfect, but that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes, man. We can't all be perfect. But yeah, when you look at some of these stats, for the 3 weeks, it puts a lot of things in perspective. It really does. But listen, I'm going to get out of here because I want to do my last 10 minutes. I want to look at my DraftKings lineup, make sure it's legit, make sure I have all my guys in the proper position. But to everybody checking in, I appreciate it. Everybody go get them this week. go kick some ass, take some names, get some fantasy football magic going, and let me know how you make out, because when I go live again on Wednesday or Thursday, hit us up when we do the review and we find out, how you did. We want to know how you did. I'll let you know how we did as a team. I'll let you know how the Heat Ratio Sports League is going, and I want to know how your league is going as well. So, as I say always on this show, stay safe, stay healthy. Give us a review, give us a rating. I appreciate it as always. You're getting in before we go. Justin Jefferson or DJ Chark in the flex. If DJ Chark is healthy, I'm going Chark 100%. If Chark is healthy, I'm going Chark 100%. I think he scores this week. Justin Jefferson, I have to wait. I have to wait to see if he's going to do if last week was an opening or it was a mirage. We'll see. But again, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. Give us a follow at TCatilla23, Heat Ratio Sports, all social platforms, and you guys have a good day.